Okay, this is going to be testing the Bailor cylinder after the reseal, and gloves and safety glasses at all times. No one walks around in this shop without safety glasses, and we have that rule because we've had a few episodes with that, even with safety glasses. And you also want to wear steel toe boots. I had a guy working for me. He didn't do it at my place, but he had his toe cut off. Piece of plate dropped on it and just cut his big toe right off. So that kind of stuff happens, and you know, I'm big on safety. A friend of mine had when we were 18 years old, we both worked in a shop, and he damn near cut his hand off and disabled him for life. So we don't want to screw around with that. There's a lot of hand injuries. I've had them myself. Luckily, nothing major. So, but you always, you know, the gloves are a big deal. Wearing these gloves saves a lot of cuts and things. And the safety glasses, you just do it. Anyways, we're going to test this cylinder. I'm all set up. Got all these fittings. You got to have a lot of different fittings. Checked it out. We're going to cycle this, and we use the rule of 3. Everything in 3s. We cycle it minimum 3 times. Okay, I'd like to go 5 times and check it out. And, you know, I'm going to show you this video. You know, I'm confident about this cylinder. Other than if there's a leak or something on a weld, I don't think there is on this one. But before, when we had, you know, we had about 10 guys, a lot of chaos going on and a lot of things get overlooked. So we had a check system where each job would have a card, and they would go through and check it, and then another mechanic would double check their work. You know, and I had it set up to basically, you know, these guys would get a little benefit if they caught one. So they're always trying to, you know, make sure that no one got caught. Once we started doing that, our percentage rate went way up. And it all depends on the mechanic. So, you know, you can't learn that. Some people just have it. Some guys are just good mechanics. That's just the way it is. And, you know, good luck on finding them, because usually those guys are doing their own thing. And so, anyways, let's test this out. We're going to cycle it and do the test on it. Okay, run it and get the air out. Cycle it a few times to get the air pocket out of there first. Now I have this thing up, it's held up, it's got a chain, and it's also held up by this thing for safety reasons. You know, the rod could be heavy, could fall down and then land on your feet, all kinds of stuff. So you always want to make sure. You know, I'm in here by myself, okay? No one's around. You know, I do this stuff, a lot of these videos on the weekends, so no one's bothering me or getting in the way. But, you know, I could get hurt. There's no one down here. So I've been doing this a while, but still, no one's immune from accidents. So, you know, when you're doing things by yourself, you always take extra precautions. Don't be getting under stuff when no one's around. Don't crawl under. Don't trust anything hydraulic. Okay, and jack this up. And cycle this. Like I said, we use the rule of 3. You know, that's a good way to check everything 3 times. Always have three options. You know, but see, you hear that noise? That's the cushion. See, it's got a cushion choke up in the top too, so it doesn't slam. That's part of what that check is in the bottom. There's a check down there when it slams down, because the weight's coming this way on these cylinders, on these big platen plates, pushes down. When it hits the bottom, that chokes it off. You might see it here. Okay, it's slowed down. You can't really see it. But the more weight, that choke really helps out. You want to look at all these welds. Like, there's a lot of oil on here. You want to double check all this. Because this one was welded before. Sometimes these crack. You got to know how to weld them. You can't over weld them or it distorts the barrel. Hear that choke going on? Usually when you redo them, I'm real confident in this one, but we always check them. When they leave here, I don't want to hear from them. I want to feel confident that I sent this thing out. It's done right. We're going to look at everything, and it comes from experience too. And you need a test bench. I'll talk about that, but you can't do this business without a test bench. Forget it. You'll get caught, and it won't look good for you. Just going around looking at some of these welded areas, make sure there's no little seepage on there. I don't want to send it out and have a little micro leak that just leaks all day long. That's what you're looking for. Always check the welds because we get a lot of them in. The mechanics aren't going to tell you it leaks. They may not know it's leaking on a weld, and then you reseal it and do all this, and you get it on this bench and it leaks, and sometimes you got to take it apart to fix it. It's nice to know if there's already a leak on it or a crack, because you can fix that first. Yeah, just wiping some of this grease off and getting it. I got the set screw in there so the head can't back off. And the other thing is, come around here, when this is all done, don't forget this little block here is welded onto this head. See, this floats around. Well, I'm going to lock this in place and weld it so it doesn't move. Okay, but they use this to adjust it when they're lining it up. So it's don't forget that. And we'll do that after. See, I didn't do it now because what if I had to take this apart and I got to cut that off again to get this off? Okay, so that's why. But that'll be done after I test it here. Let's do it one more time. Okay, I think this is real good. We'll lock it all up. We'll do it one more time. Get the air out. Put the caps on, and we'll take it out for paint. And then it'll be delivered to the customer, and they'll put it on the shelf. And, they have 2 running right now. This is their spare. So this will go on the shelf. The minute that leaks, one of them leaks, so the mechanics will just swap it out. A lot of times in these plant operations, the mechanics, they trying to do this and getting the seals, they'll lose money. So the places need mechanics, definitely. Okay. Okay, so we're going to take the pressure out. Now I'm going to push this back in with air because I don't want to send it out with oil in it. Okay, so we'll just push it back in with air. Take a little bit. And we'll let the air out. Okay. So that's basically it. This will be their spare unit. This is a $10,000 cylinder right here. So it is an advantage to reseal them. And some of them, once in a while we get one in, you just can't fix it and they have to buy a new one. But certainly you can get several reseals out of this until something goes wrong. I've seen the threads go wrong in here. These barrels have gone wrong, all kinds of stuff, because they work real hard. So in order to save them some money, we just do this, and like I said, they have an extra one. And I'm seeing something here. Okay, so that's it, and it's all in. So that's basically that. And I'll end this video right here. Shows you how we did that. Stand by.